Hey all, welcome to my channel. I know it's been a bit, or it's been a while since I've last done a video about, basically about Formula One. It's the start of the new season, of course. I unfortunately did miss the first two races, or talk about the first two races. I did miss the first race because I didn't realize the racing format now is on a Saturday schedule instead of a Sunday schedule. So I kind of missed out on the first one in Bahrain, where Max Verstappen won, and then of course Saudi Arabia as well too, where Verstappen won again as well. I mean, honestly, looking at it, you'll see basically Verstappen being the first and winning that off. Sergio or Checo winning, getting the second place, and as far as Leclerc getting number three, which makes sense in that perspective. I mean, Ferrari's coming out to be big. The one thing that kind of surprising was Mercedes falling far behind, actually. I mean, George Russell being number 6, but Hamilton being number 9. It's as though Hamilton doesn't really care anymore at this point, because he knows, from his perspective, the car itself, as well as the team, it's not right, and like it's pretty much him a lame duck in this situation, and so it's a case of like why should he care at this point? Because honestly, he's right. I mean, he's going to Ferrari next year, so, and Ferrari seems to be going on the upward trends as far as when it comes to their engine as well as their chassis. Kind of sucks for, well, not Leclerc, but more so Sainz himself, because Sainz, I think, deserves to be with Ferrari. And the fact is like what he did at the last race in Bahrain, you saw how well he did in finishing number 3. I think if he didn't have the appendicitis, he probably would have gotten, most likely, third place as well too, maybe second. I mean, look at this, Oliver Bierman, 18-year-old rookie coming out to race for him. Look what he's done. He's actually finished 7th, ahead of both Lando and Lewis. He probably could have beaten Russell too, honestly, but it's a different story. But in any case, it'll be interesting to see how Sainz pairs up and does this season. If he does finish in the top 3 consistently and beats out Leclerc, and showing Ferrari, did they make the right choice of letting Sainz go, replacing him with Hamilton, and keeping Leclerc? Let's not forget, Sainz is a really great companion driver, but also competitive driver too. And so that's what kind of sucks from this perspective. And in any case, it'll be interesting to see what happens next year as well too, in the 2025 season between Leclerc and Hamilton. But whatever it may be, Sergio Perez, basically, this is also his year where he needs to do something. Why did my thing freeze up? Sorry, for some reason it froze up. I don't know why, but in any case, maybe I think I know why. But in any case, Sergio this is his final year. I think pretty much this year might be his final year, unless he comes into second place but does a strong finish as far as making competitive against Max. If he doesn't, look for him to be kicked out. They might replace him with Sainz, I think. I mean, Checo is definitely a good complement to Max, but I think they want the competitiveness. Red Bull wants the competitiveness of finish 1-2, basically, and I think they want some of that will be consistent year in, year out in the races themselves, basically. And like, I don't know if that's the case with Checo, unless he does something dramatically different this year. But Sainz, they'll know if they bring Sainz on board, it might be a different story. But then let's not forget, Sainz could also go to Mercedes for all we know, depending on how he finishes this year as well too. Now, let's be honest, this is going to be probably most likely Max's 4th year in a row where he wins the championship. Red Bull is probably going to win the constructors title as well too. Quite honestly, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the way Max is driving, I would not be surprised that if Max, for some reason, falls out of place in the next few races here and there, that he doesn't take the championship this year as well too. It reminds me a little bit about, with Vettel, Sebastian Vettel winning four in a row with Red Bull before he went off to Ferrari. I don't think Max is going to do that. I think he's going to stay as long as he possibly can, and then probably when he sees Red Bull declining, he'll probably jump ship at that point. But honestly, don't be surprised if he gets number 4 this year and maybe number 5 this year, number 5 next year as well too, depending how Ferrari's is going. But looking at the way it is right now, Max number 1, Sergio number 2 after 2 races, of course, and 3 is Charles Leclerc. Russell's number 4. Sainz is number 6, but again, Sainz being out this race, he probably would have been number 3 at that point as well too. And Russell being number 4 is pretty impressive in and of itself. The one thing that is surprising though is looking at Lewis Hamilton. He's at number 9, honestly, and like it's kind of surprising. And like the fact that Oliver Bierman, literally the rookie, is like only a few points behind him, basically. I would not be surprised if Hamilton does not finish out. But again, I think it's more of a case where Hamilton probably won't care this year. It's probably a lost year. I don't think he wants to injure himself as dramatically. He might make it competitive, but I think he wants that Ferrari seat, and I think he wants to break the record as far as Schumacher's record, as well as for the total number of championships. I think he needs 2 more to basically keep it a safe distance away from Max, because if he can't break get number 8 and number 9, Max is going to break it easily. Fernando Alonso doing really well as well too. Oscar Piastri, it shows he probably might be the number 1, or he should probably be the number 1 over Lando. Honestly, the way Oscar's driving and the way McLaren is working, they should be on all cylinders. I would not be surprised if Oscar becomes the lead driver over Lando. I don't look for Lando to be happy about it, but don't be surprised, quite honestly. But in any case, I would say, this is pretty much what it comes down to more than anything else is don't be surprised if Max wins number 4 this year, 2 being Sergio. But the number 3 spot, I think, is going to be, do not be surprised if it's Sainz being number 3. But with that, let me know your thoughts. What do you think with the rest of the season, how the season's going so far? Do you think it's going to be number 4 for Max? I'm pretty sure it is. Do you think Sergio Perez is going to be with Red Bull? Or do you think he's going to be kicked out if he's not consistent this year? Do you think Sainz possibly takes over for him if Sainz gets the number 3 or number 2 spot in the Constructors' Cup? If he does go all out, or 2, does Sainz do really well with Mercedes? I mean not Mercedes, does really well, gets picked up by Mercedes possibly, but it also comes down to with Alex Albon, basically, where Albon from the Williams team, he could go over and take over basically in the Williams side. I mean, from the Williams side, and takes over Mercedes and basically Hamilton's spot, and races with his buddy, basically with George Russell. That won't be. I wouldn't be surprised about that as well too. But anyways, let's see how that goes. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I do. Oh boy, I don't know why my camera is breaking up on me, but like I said, I do read all my comments, so please leave a comment in the comment section. I do read them. I do respond to them when they warrant a response. I want to get to them as well too. And also, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And again, let me know your thoughts. And with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.